it's time for Millionaire Monday. So we have our awesome, most of our ALC, and actually I think Adele's going to be coming as well. So I think he's just going to be a little bit late. So we probably need to, Becky, can you grab one more chair for?
Oh, he said it's going to be late. He's texted.
Yeah. So we actually have got a great ALC turnout here. Oh, I think Becky was grabbing it right now. There we go. So first I want to say a huge thank you to the woman that always tries to make me break my diet, Roseanne. Thank you so much for all the food. What's new going on in the roofing world?
Thank you, Sarah. There's naked chicken and salad.
I know
And
you.
veggies,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Like, options.
Yes. No, I don't know why I decided I needed to go gluten-free, dairy-free for a little bit. And I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? This is a bad idea.
Thank you for voting for me for Vendor of the Month. I'm sorry I couldn't be here when you guys announced it. I had a full morning and afternoon, so thank you. I'm so grateful. Thank you. I can use that as leverage. So everyone here has heard my presentation before, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
I like your.
So I just want to make sure that you all know that we can look at your property same day. We have between 110 and 120 salespeople out in the field. And just to reiterate our coverage area, we go as far north as the Red River, as far east as Henderson and Kaufman counties. I try to put those together every time. Counties, and then as far south as Glen Rose and as far west as Ranger and Eastland. If you check the folder, we are still running our sale. If you purchase 3 windows, you get a free storm door. There is a minimum size regarding the windows. Our inspections are always free. It's a 5-page report. We have a lifetime workmanship warranty. It doesn't matter how many times you use this, it's always free. And then regarding our home warranty program, our website is still not up. From what I understand, they're having problems with the calculation so that when you go in and put the information in, it's not calculating correctly. So we're not making that live. But if you do have a home warranty need, you are welcome to call our corporate office. Any number on the folder will do. That we will take you and go over everything. Anyone have any questions or any comments? And don't forget, we can collect at closing on the roof as long as it's the documentation. Any questions, any comments?
I think Jake's taking a selfie.
Well, as always, we bring this level of service so that you realize that's how we're going to treat your clients. I always like to end by saying that if you like our food, please give our customer service a try. It beats food hands down every time. Thank you.
Thank you, Roseanne. Awesome. Okay, so first I want to start out by going through our panelists and asking how many mega camps you have been to. Obviously, this was the first virtual, second virtual format. But so Robert, have you been to mega camp in person?
My second one, yes.
Okay. Okay. Never in person though, just
Correct.
virtual.
Just virtual.
Okay. What about you, Jake?
Same.
Same.
Second, but both virtual.
Okay. What about you, Miss Veronica? 6?
Wow.
Wow.
Okay, I've been an agent for 13 years and I've gone to a lot of them.
A lot. So she's like too many. I ran out of fingers.
I
Yeah.
just can't count them.
And what about you, Lisa?
4.
4? Okay. And so what was your take on, we obviously had to go virtual. I know, Jake, you had plans to go out to Austin and you were did you end up going out and meeting your group?
I did go to Austin the weekend before, but came back for our event.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So how do you feel, and anyone can answer this, but how did you enjoy the virtual format in comparison to being in person, or did you not enjoy it?
I liked it. And I mean, I do like meeting the people and talking and everything else like that, but it's really kind of cool to actually sit down and listen to people. I liked it from the computer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not my first way to do it, but I think it worked.
Right. And I think because we have so many new agents that are here today, what, Lisa, could you describe to them, like, what is Mega Camp? What is the purpose of Mega Camp?
Mega Camp is a mega event And then what I miss about it is that you get to meet people. I miss the exhibits. I miss the vendors. And then you also get to choose what class you go to. So maybe you don't want to meet with maybe you don't want to go to mega agent and you just want to go see what a first time agent would do. But I love mega camp. And also you get to ask them questions. I miss that.
Yeah.
With virtual.
Yeah.
That after the meeting, it may be a mega camp, a mega agent who's teaching it, and then you get to walk up to them and ask them questions.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. So you would say, and that's what I'm hearing a lot of people say is just the networking, being able to really build your referral network, because that's a big part of family reunion. So many of you that are here today are new agents. Does anybody know what family reunion is? Yeah. Okay. So many of you don't even realize it. So when you hear about these big events like that Keller Williams has, which is Mega Camp and Family Reunion, normally the big draw to those events is being able to build that referral network, which is so huge. And I've been preaching to you guys like crazy now that you're farming for yourselves, because we live in this bubble that everybody is moving to right now. And so hopefully we will have the opportunity to go to family reunion in person. It's supposed to be in Orlando, which would be in February. And I think the other thing that I know what I missed was, I mean, we had an after hours party for our top 20% here, but the party, I shouldn't say it, the partying is so much fun. But no, we do, we celebrate each other.
After
And
hours networking.
after, that's
That
a
sounds much
professional way.
better.
One of us was a professional at that.
Right. I was gonna, yeah, I know. Dell can tell us all about that when he gets here in a little bit. That's the part that he probably misses the most. So what were you expecting to get out of Mega Camp this year? And did your expectations get met? What about you, Veronica?
I was really looking for the opportunity to hear, some creative ways to adapt to the market we're in right now. And so I looked for those classes, and I feel like I took a class that really honed in on that.
Yeah, which class was that in particular?
It was-
Because I took some notes too, because we are going to, and we still have access to Mega Camp for the next 60 days. So based off of the feedback that we get from the panel today, we will set up some times to actually stream some of these classes again, and make sure that we get them on the calendar as well.
It's lead generation in a high demand market.
Okay, Becky, can you take a note of that? Just so we lead generation in a high demand market. What was from that training in particular? What did you take away? What was your big aha from that one?
So there was a girl from Marietta, Georgia. Her name is Kelly Allen. And although we probably all thought of this, no one really, I don't think a lot of people take action on it, but what she did was when she signs a buyer representation agreement, she first calls all of her sphere and all of her past clients, because those past clients remembered the struggles they had when they submitted all these different offers and getting outbidded, or, it took months to find the right home. And she said, I've got a buyer just like you. Remember when we went to 6 different homes, and we submitted 3 different offers. I'm in that particular situation with this buyer. Who do you know that might be looking to sell in your neighborhood, or who do you know that is in the school district? Because I have a buyer looking there. And so she said they started getting calls from all their past clients going, hey, I just saw a FISBO. Hey, my neighbor mentioned at the HOA event that they may be. So essentially she's having their past clients work for them.
That's great.
They're
That's
calling
really great.
her saying,
Well, so that really ties together with the golden letter, which I know, Donna, you're a huge fan of the golden letter. And there was one panelist that they spotlighted in one of the breakouts. Her name was Aubrey Lewis, and she did 100 letters a week with this golden letter, which I've heard you championing, in talking to some of our agents, here at the Market Center. And she says she gets on average 2 to 3 calls
About people wanting to sell their houses and different
Right.
things like that.
Right.
Yeah, it's just a way to.
So have you, what has a golden letter done for you? And did you take anything? I don't know if you saw that class that Veronica was referencing.
I didn't see that class, but I did see the golden letter class, and I've done that. And I've knocked on doors, asking if people are looking to purchase and different things, if people are looking to sell their homes, because I've got a buyer that would love to be in the home. Is that?
Yeah.
That was a golden letter. And I've also sent letters, if I've got clients that have to be in a school, have to be in a neighborhood, I'll send letters there and say, do you know anybody that's looking to purchase, to sell their home? Because I've got buyers that are pre-qualified, ready to go in. And I've gotten feedback from that, and I'll call agents in the area and different things like that. But the golden letter has worked
Yeah.
because I've gotten homes, that I could show my clients. They may not be the ideal home for them.
Does anybody
it's
in here
definitely-
not know what a golden letter is? Yeah, okay.
I have a copy of it both in English and in Spanish because I have Spanish past clients. So Andrea and I at my admin, we probably in the month of August have probably sent out 400 or 500 of these golden, that's what she's been working on. And we're also sending out an equity letter to tie in with it. Because some of your past clients who've been in their homes for, 5 or 6 years or more don't realize the type of equity they have. And so we're reminding them, hey, in case you didn't know, so.
That'd be great. Is that something you would be willing to share? Awesome. See, you're getting like good stuff here. So maybe we'll try to get that and share it on the Central Solutions page, or because I want to get as many people working on that as possible. Now, Jake, if you don't mind, I want to ask you a question. Did you see I think you were here for when Ken Pozek.
It's my very.
Is it? Because I was really fascinated. I dove into his Instagram account and looking at some of his YouTube. What did you get from his portion?
So Ken Poznak was one of the lead gen agents that spoke. So he is really big on YouTube videos. So then he spoke about how he builds his YouTube videos and then how he also attaches those to his other social media. So he said the leads that he's getting through Instagram are really because of the videos he's doing on YouTube. So I thought that was really important to think about it that way, that a lead, you can create a source of income really, or of information somewhere, plant it in multiple different places and watch those trees grow in lots of different places. So that's definitely something that, I got from it is, again, that content that you create, put it in as many places as possible because you don't know where those, where that tree is going to grow. So
Yeah, and he was,
really liked.
he was talking about the thumbnails, how
Yes.
important the thumbnails were as well.
Thumbnails and SEO titles are things I took notes on. And then he said, it really took him a long time to build his base. He said, after about 300 videos on YouTube is really when it was like running like a well-oiled machine, but when he really consistently started to get up to 15 leads a day.
And he was talking specifically about that he wasn't doing those niche videos that everybody was
Right.
doing, where it was talking about, how to buy a house or how to
The
sell a
top
house.
10 ways to sell your home. He said, be very super specific. So the top 10 reasons to move to Richardson, or why you want to be in Plano ISD, something that is very searchable is what you want, and very specific that not a lot of other people, if you do why top 5 reasons to sell your house in today's market, you're going to get beat out by the mega people on YouTube that do those already, and they already have the SEO and the reach to get that audience. So if someone were to search that, other people that are already have, well-established accounts, they're going to appear higher than you. But if someone specifically searches top 10 reasons to move to Plano or something more specific, then you will be able to rank higher on the search. So it's really important to be very specific.
Do you think that you're going to be, because I don't know if you all saw it, but Jake just released a podcast that he's doing with 3 other agents from this market center. And are you taking some of those?
So
little
we are
nuggets?
actually dual recording. So every podcast is a video and a podcast. We'll be on iTunes and Spotify and all that, I think in about 2 weeks, moving with millennials. And yeah, so we're making those videos. So those will go on a YouTube, and then we each are also then able to break those into our own portions and use those for sound bites and things like that when we have a really good bit of information to share. So I'm definitely looking forward to getting more into video, and the podcast is going to help with that actually.
Yeah, and this is a trend that we're seeing. We're seeing this is creating like a new marketing opportunity for yourself. And I've been talking to Bill about what we can do here at the Market Center as well, with maybe possibly putting in a podcast studio here in the green room, like where the computer is, and actually having it set up so that we can film it, as well as you record and the Leverage team be trained up on it. So stay tuned, because I was taking notes like crazy on this, because the days of, yes, door knocking happens, and we're going to always continue to door knock. But if you're comfortable being in front of a camera and filming something, or if you're comfortable
Even if you're
speaking,
not comfortable with it.
just do it.
One of the things that he did say also was you have to be consistent, you have to be intentional
Yes.
about doing your video. And you still ask for business, but you wait until the end to ask for the business.
Because once you've earned the right to, which I think is very important, it's like, you're giving that information, and by doing that enough, then you've earned the right to say, and who do you know, or by the way. And I think, a lot of agents on that one panel spoke about mind share. And so it's like mind share equals market share. So any way that you can just be providing information, even if it's en masse, basically, to a large group, and not necessarily specifically to, each person at a time, that's still going to be mind share. That's really what is important.
So if you guys are, if you haven't searched him already, it's Ken, K-E-N, Pozek, P-O-Z-E-K. Search him on YouTube or on Instagram, and you'll see a lot of these, what they've been talking about. Okay, so was there any content that you wish that would have been included or that you didn't see, so that we can maybe see if somebody saw it somewhere else? What about Lisa? You were like,
No, I mean, I thought they really covered it really well this time. I love that they had also had outside people that weren't agents. Like the one that they did on how to build a brand. I mean, everybody should look at that one at no matter what your level is in real estate, because he really did break down. He was from outside the business, so he gave us a perspective of what an outside person would think, and he gave 5 key points about targeting, which we all kind of know. We have to do our targeting, developing a unique benefit, which we kind of have our eyes on that. But then he talked about leveraging, and he gave some really serious percentages about now what different age groups, what they're looking for. And we think, a lot of people think, well, I'm gonna go to a discount broker. And he was saying that younger first-time home buyers, it was like in the double digits, high double digits, go to a brand that they recognize. They won't go to a no name. And I thought that was just so valuable.
I'm hearing that more and more lately. We've actually had quite a few agents recently join this market center because they were with a smaller no name brokerage, and they were losing out on buyers and listings as well. And their clients were specifically saying, we want you to be with a bigger branded company. Yeah, well, and just that I think that what we often forget is that networking and just that referral sphere that we have being with Keller Williams is just so huge. And so just so that in future, because I don't think that this virtual aspect is going to go away. I think that we've realized that we're really good at pivoting and doing things on Zoom, but you can actually, they have sections of Mega Camp broken away so that you can build your referral network even on that platform. So I know that we were streaming things during Mega Camp here so that you wouldn't have to incur that cost. But in the future, it is something that by you individually registering to it, you get access to so much that we can't even make available to just because we're just streaming all the content. Now, command wasn't talked about a lot for you guys, okay? Command was talked a lot about to us in leadership. And so there were 3 days of streaming content for Mega Camp. And then on the 4th day, which was Thursday, leadership, we had an all day access to everything new that's coming out. And they don't know about any of this. So I'm going to be telling you guys about this while I'm telling them about this. And then I want to see everybody's feedback or reactions. I'll be like staring at your faces. So first, the big one that got a lot of reaction to it is that starting in the first quarter, which will be the beginning of next year, 2022, Keller Williams is going to have its own education department, meaning anyone who is thinking about getting their real estate license, if they get connected with a Keller Williams, you will get your licensing training for free. What it will be is Keller Williams, each market center will pay $600 a month for unlimited education. That's CE as well. Ooh, yeah. So, but from me, what I'm looking at it as is, okay, we have a bunch of people that want to become real estate agents. Should they be real estate agents? And are they a good fit for this market center? You know, when you hear the word free, it's very, very exciting, but then all of a sudden the floodgates open up and I don't want to say like quality control, but we have to talk about quality control a bit. And so my thought immediately went to the KPA, which is something that's, you know, solely available to Keller Williams. And so having people complete KPAs before we even accept them into it, but then also having an agreement in place, you know, maybe it's 2 years or something like that. But, you know, this is going to be happening here in Texas as of the very beginning of the year. So thoughts on that? Donna, I want to hear your thoughts since you're
That's huge to
Okay.
be able to talk to people. I mean, I love the KPA though. That's huge
Mhm.
because not everybody should be a real estate agent. People think that you just get into it and it's so easy. No, I think that would be. Yeah, right now it's easy as it's ever.
Tell us about that probate, Willie. You gotta go.
Can we just talk about that? No, but I think that is just gonna be an amazing thing. To
Yeah,
be able to get
that's
C
huge.
classes and different, oh, that's gonna be huge.
So the next thing that was announced was Command Mobile. That is going to be coming out. It's supposed to be fourth quarter, so that would be like, you know, any day now. Command Mobile will be released. So Jake, since you are our previous director of tech ambassador, what are your thoughts on that?
Oh, it's about time. Yeah, so I think it's time that comes out. I will be excited to get my hands on it and see if they've tested it and vetted it thoroughly and find out what bugs it has, I guess. But yeah, I mean, it is, yeah, I mean, I use Command a lot on my iPad, which is close enough that it works. But on the rare event that my iPad is dead because I didn't charge it, which does happen, my phone, like, you can't do anything else. It's like I feel stranded or stuck or whatever. Because like, well, gosh, I have to go find a computer or find a way to charge. So I think we all live on the go. So I think that's a necessary part of our business, considering you have to use Command to get paid. So
Yeah.
it's-
Besides getting paid, what else have you been using Command for?
Well,
Are you throwing that out to me specifically? I mean, to get paid is the most important part.
Right, but I mean, are you doing anything in Command that?
I do. So I actually put all my client notes when I'm on the phone with someone. I take them in a Google Drive doc, but I also copy them over into Command because I'm like a freak, a fanatic about like losing something. So all of my contacts also have notes specific into them. It also tracks all of your emails that you send and things like that. So I update all my contacts information in there.
I had at the mega camp after party that we had for our top 20% and some of our agents that are in coaching, Lisa Wyatt came up to me and she's like, I have to tell you, and I don't think Lisa's here today, but Lisa struggled with Command, and Clark actually really kind of helped her embrace it. She utilized Leverage Plus, kind of importing her database and everything, but we also assigned smart plans for her. She got 4 transactions from the neighborhood nurture, and she proclaimed it. She's like, it was absolutely because of the neighborhood nurture. And so of course I immediately said, great, can we film you talking about this? Because I think that all the bugs that happened with Command in the beginning really put such a bad taste in everybody's mouth. And I think it's time to revisit it. From what I'm seeing. So another thing that was announced is we have a sports and entertainment division now. KW Sports and Entertainment. So because we're in the DFW area, if you are wanting to kind of go down that avenue of possible, you know, representing professional athletes or any professionals that are in the entertainment industry, that is now going to be a division that you can actively learn more about. We were announced as being in the top 10% for all luxury. So that was also announced. And the last one, I'm forgetting something. Becky, what am I forgetting? Oh, veterans, yes. So there's now veterans designation. So KW veteran. It's for veterans, active military, spouses. So you can actively go in right now and designate yourself as a veteran or a spouse. And so that's all brand new. And Bonetta was like squealing with excitement on that.
My teacher's like, guess what?
Yeah.
So,
So Adele, what's your thoughts on these new divisions?
I think it's wonderful. I think that they're really focusing on helping agents be able to really get a niche and focus on these niches in order to be able to succeed.
Yeah.
So it's great. They also had a focus on land.
Yeah.
And how land isn't just the cowboy, I think he said, or for
Yeah.
the guy with the tractor. It can be for anyone. So go out there and get your unfair share.
Yeah, for sure. Jake.
I was just gonna say, not only does it help build individual agents niche, but what they're also doing is helping networking for referrals so that we can keep transactions within a KW family.
Yeah.
So I think it's really smart from an agent perspective, but also really smart from a company perspective.
That's really huge too with KW. We do a lot of referrals amongst each other. I think we're really missing out these last couple of years, not being able to go to mega camp or go to family reunion, because I know that a lot of the connections that I've established and a lot of the referrals that I've received were based off of going to the after parties and going to the events.
Yeah. The my plan, so because we are in such close proximity to wonderful luxury properties here. So next year, I'd actually like to add an ALC chair for luxury specifically. So that's one thing that I'm planning on doing, and really having us create a luxury division focal point as really expanding the commercial division, farmland, and just and making sure that's front of mind in all the conversations that we're having. Robert, you're being super quiet down there. So who was you're taking who was your favorite speaker or panel that you saw?
Sorry, it's gonna be cliche, but Gary, that first speech is, and not only that, but just everybody that followed behind him, there was just so much content there. It's like drinking through a fire hose. I couldn't write fast enough to keep up with all of it.
Does anybody remember the number he said for how many active real estate agents there are right now?
More than listings, I know that. It's a legit fact. There really are more agents than listings across the country.
1.5 million, over 1.5 million licensed real estate agents currently.
In the world or US?
That's worldwide. Yeah. And so he was showing, and I did slide, if you guys didn't see on the Central Solutions page, all of the slides, the PowerPoint that Gary went over along with Jay Papazon are on Central Solutions. So if you don't see it, or if you want me to share, just email me and I'll get it over to you. So what are you guys feeling in the market right now? Because when we went through all of the PowerPoint that Gary went over, we're seeing that sharp increase, obviously, in sales. And historically, we typically, when there's a rise, there's a fall. So what are you guys feeling right now out in the market? And how does that compare to what you saw on the graphs? Whoever.
I'm exhausted.
You're
honestly.
exhausted.
Yeah. I'm working with a lot of buyers, and it's really difficult to get them under contract. So yeah, we definitely have a lack of inventory going in the market. But even my listings, though, I have a couple of listings out and I'm getting offers, but I don't know if the sellers are just being greedy, but they keep wanting more.
Yeah.
And I was like, but this is what we agreed on. Like, you're getting the offers.
They're used to the,
Yeah, you're
That's
they're no
exactly
longer
it.
happy with
It's
full
like
price.
full price. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay.
And I was
Yeah.
like, this is how much your
That
house is
mindset.
worth.
That's
Look,
right.
we went through it all.
That's right.
And
Yeah,
I
because
don't
we are
know.
seeing the days on the market
A little lower.
increase.
It is.
Uh-huh.
It's on the market a little lower.
And you want to tell that seller, we already priced it at the top of
That's
what it's
right.
worth anyways, like, I think a lot of it just comes from like what they hear, like for the past months and months, we've been saying, well, it's so hot, now it's the time to sell. And so they get that full price offer and they're like, where are the other 12?
Yeah.
Where's the appraisal paper?
Where's the appraisal?
They're like, where's all my free money? It's
Yeah.
like, well, your house is worth X, Y, and Z. Do you want to move or not?
I just had an appointment with someone that was meeting with an iBuyer. And the iBuyer told him, what do you think you could list your home for? I had already done a CMA. He didn't tell me till after I presented the CMA, he was meeting with the iBuyer. So he told the iBuyer that he could essentially get 5% over what we listed at.
Mhm.
So I said, if you price it right, that's a possibility. I'm saying that's what's gonna happen. So they gave him 5% over what I told him he listed for.
Wow.
And he sold it to the iBuyer.
I had an open door offer on one of my listings. And I mean,
They're getting
this
more
listing,
aggressive.
this listing was super overpriced. Like, I could not believe that they put an offer in, and it's a cash offer, and we're going to closing, so.
I think they're losing money right now.
They have to,
Yeah.
there's no way this
Yeah.
house is
They
worth
are.
what I listed it for. And I told them, we're gonna have to do a price reduction, and they're like, no, that's okay, and I was like, okay,
But again,
so as long as you're okay with it.
mind
So we
share.
got an open door offer for
Wow.
above list price, I was very shocked.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So
fine,
they put-
overpaying, that's their business model, is they're gonna own the rental market, they're gonna take that overpaying, they're gonna pass it on to rent.
That
The
makes,
rental market.
that makes sense.
Insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It already is.
I know,
It
it's
has
gonna get
multiple offers
worse.
even on rent
The multiple offer situations in the rental market, that's interesting.
But they're gonna own it all, you're not gonna have an option. You're gonna have to go to Zillow or open door.
Yeah, they think they're gonna own it all, but, because most of them have like a
But
5-year
four
break
renters.
even point. so.
This week, it's Monday, I had 4 renters today tell me their rent's going up $700 a month.
Oh, wow.
Go look
Mhm.
elsewhere, 'cause you ain't gonna find any better.
So
Yeah.
Oh my.
I've also seen in a lease MLS posting, highest and best.
No.
I'm like, what do you mean?
On a lease?
On a lease.
Yes.
Yeah.
I called for highest and best on one of mine, so I can judge on that. They
Throw
did,
something at you.
they did $300 more and 12 months paid up front.
Paid up front.
Wow.
My goodness.
So,
Wow.
yeah, calling for, so, yeah,
I've
so
never-
calling for highest and best
Yeah.
work.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, you
So-
want like that greedy seller.
I just need them to like sign on the dotted line already.
Yeah.
There's plenty of offers. to
I
get.
haven't done highest and best, but I can say that in some of our lease listings, that people have come in with things above the asking price.
Yeah.
Because they were so desperate to get into the.
Yeah, well, and they are saying that 2022, but they're projecting that interest rates will probably be right around 3.5%, which is, a little bit of an increase of what we're seeing now, but it's still historically low.
They need to go higher.
They need to, I
They
mean,
need to go higher. We just.
and you guys, for our newer agents here, you understand that as the interest rates begin to go up, that's what causes the,
Purchasing power.
exactly. Any questions about anything that we've covered so far?
I have a question about the entertainment and sports.
Yes.
Is there an entry requirement?
I have not seen that. It's probably just so you guys know, historically in the past, to be part of the luxury division, it was a yearly buy-in that you had to pay. I think it was $1,500 a year. And now you do not buy into luxury, you just qualify for it. And so a luxury home in this market currently for this area is 700,000 and above. So once you have sold 4 properties within 2 years that are $700,000 or above, you automatically qualify as a KW luxury agent. Now, you can still get access to all the KW luxury branding regardless of being designated as a KW luxury agent. And all of that is found in Command. Brian Runo is very familiar with it. He likes all the luxury branding very much, and he's utilizing it for a lot of his marketing. So where do you, I mean, we are in the DFW, which is sports mecca. My first reaction to it was, that's the competition to like Monument or things like that are trying to market themselves that
Yeah,
way.
they have an
Monument
office,
Is,
and they have an office
the
in
Cowboys.
Cowboy Building.
Yeah.
And Rogers Healy is the Mavs, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
And he's like the
Yeah.
official brokerage of the Mavs. I think.
Yeah.
Wait, what happened to C21 being the official?
Well, that's the thing. They pay a lot of money to be branded as like the Cowboys, the official Cowboys. And that doesn't mean that they have guaranteed that all of these sports,
So there's an official tractor company.
there's official tractor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, how
okay.
many
There's an-
Cowboys have tractors?
Really an official tractor
Yeah,
company for the
yeah, I'm trying to
Cowboys.
say, what's the big company?
Yeah, it's
John
Deere.
Yeah,
John Deere.
John Deere is the official tractor company of the Dallas Cowboys.
hey, Yeah, Jerry, yeah. He will, he definitely will.
How as an agent, Dak Prescott having an office in my building does me any good.
It doesn't, you know, it's a niche and you-
Catch them in an
There-
elevator. and
there's-
find
there's
out.
agents that I know that are part of Momentum, that he's in their office and they're taking pictures of him in their office, sitting at their desk, or, you know, just
Yeah.
having a snack. So-
but it's at the end of the day, it's interesting though. I do think that it's very smart of Kate of you to do though from the sports and entertainment, because that is a very significant, that's a very specific niche. And you have to have an understanding of how to work with professional sports athletes and professional entertainers. And so for me, I'm looking at this going, good. They're going to give us the education, the marketing.
Is there gonna be education along with those designations? So to have a
Exactly.
designation, you're gonna take these classes and X, Y, and Z.
And so for, you know, from the agent perspective, there's a lot of value in that because yes, you can go somewhere and take a picture with Dak and that's great and all, but are you being taught how to properly work with this clientele? Because there is a completely different approach to it. And so as more information comes out about that, obviously we're going to share it with you guys. So what other ahas that you guys got from different panels that you watched?
My favorite was, and this was so many agents talked about your database. Guys, that is your business. Your database, I mean, you just need to treat it well, make sure they know you. Everything like that. There was a guy, what's his name? Don Hoshabri.
Yeah,
He
HOZHABRI.
kept on talking about it, and they were talking about care calls. And I gotta tell you, during the beginning of COVID, that continued my business. Because I checked on every one of my clients and care calls. You know, maybe you see something on Facebook where they have a baby or somebody gets married. Use your database and make sure they know who you are and that they could just, because I will tell you real quick, I was out of town this weekend. 2 past clients referred. I've got 2 listing appointments this week and then 2 people that want to be real estate agents. And this is from my database, just keeping in touch with people. So send videos out, call them, send birthday cards. It was just a common thread about being intentional with your database because that's your business. And just take, you don't need to have the biggest database. You just need to have one that you are in constant contact with them.
So to piggyback on that, in that lead generation class, one of the agents she's from Birmingham, California, she says, you've got to stop being transactional with your database and be relational. And that's what.
That was
exactly what Don
Stephanie
saying.
And they said
Vitaco.
that real estate is a contact sport. I mean, just use it. I mean, use it to your
And,
advantage.
you know, when she says care calls, I mean, that's being relational. That's saying, you know, hey, how are you today? I'm just reaching out. Congratulations on your baby or whatever it might have been. You know, how have you been? How are you weathering storms that we had or this whole thing going on in the world? Just a care call.
And add value to them. Maybe you just found a new vendor and you know that one of your clients can use new windows or new painters or anything like that. And while you're talking to them, do you have a vendor that you're using that you can share? I mean, just give them an item of value or just.
Who does care calls out of the
I
panel?
mean, I do.
I don't do calls, I do text or
Well,
emails.
I do whatever media, whatever communication.
Listen,
Yeah, they
if I
prefer.
call any of my clients, like, oh my God, is everything okay? Like, it's not normal. for me.
Right.
So it's like, if their preferred
Say the
method,
same thing.
if their preferred method is texting, I'm gonna stick to their preferred
Any
method.
way that you show
Yeah.
that you care for your
They-
clients, it doesn't matter.
They
Text is
talked
just as
about that.
personal as a call.
Yeah.
Always.
I mean, if you think about that, and they were talking about this a lot, that database, and there was another agent that said 70% of his business comes from just database care calls. And so imagine how like shocking it would be if all of a sudden Walmart called you one day and said, hey, we haven't seen you in a little bit.
Like
How are
your
you
hairdresser
doing?
doesn't call you, your
No.
doctors don't call you.
Right.
You're the people that call.
I
My
shop
hairdresser
a
calls
lot.
me.
All right, mine does too.
I will say,
She's like, how have you been? What's going on?
I shop a lot online and I do occasionally get the we miss you emails with like whatever from like whatever shop or brand I've been searching for recently. I'll get the we miss you emails and I'll show like their new stuff and I actually do end up shopping there more
Right.
because I get those emails. So it's a care email. So it's the same thing from like
Right.
a
No, no,
large
no.
company.
Yeah.
So it really does prove to
But a lot
show.
of the agents just, a lot of them will talk to them.
But yeah, I would recommend that highly. Call your clients and just, hey, how are you? Miss you. Haven't, just thought about you the other day.
One of the other things I do is like when we had the drive for like school supplies, I put it all on my social media, but I also sent it to all of my past clients, an email and followed up with a text, just to show, again, we're doing things other than real estate. But I also just sent an email yesterday asking, if anyone has any donations they want to send to Louisiana, the American Red Cross is looking for X, Y, and Z. So I try to do those things too that are, I'm not doing that just for business. It's doing it because one, there's a lot of agents, KW, things like that from all brokerages. They're in Louisiana right now being affected. So I saw one post about it and it kind of just tugged at my heart just the right way. But I thought, I can only do so much, but I have a network of people that I've worked with.
Yeah,
So I reached
speaking
out
of,
to them to do those kinds of things.
just because you brought it up, Jake, KW Cares is in Louisiana. Right now, there's 10 market centers that have been impacted by the hurricane. And the biggest thing that they're struggling with is water.
Yeah.
So you can go to KW Cares if you want, just to get involved from that. And during Mega Camp and everything that was going on last week, I'm sure most of you saw the updates about the Iversons. So just a quick update because KW Cares is front of mind on that. So they're actually getting to apply for a grant through KW Cares. Because their hospital bills are in excess of $137,000 just so far. And so because we have KW Cares and there's this whole grant process that that the leadership team is helping them fill out, a large majority, if not all of their medical bills will be covered. And so that's one huge benefit of being with Keller Williams. And Kirk is doing very, very well. But Cindy's son is now hospitalized with COVID.
With COVID?
Mhm.
How long is he with them?
I'm not sure how old he is. I don't think he was
Wait a
with them,
minute,
but
no, he was. Cindy's son and her daughter-in-law were there, yes.
yeah. So yeah, he's now
Are they
hospitalized.
back and hospitalized here or are they?
Yeah, yeah. So, but that's, and that was
Thank you
something,
later.
the cultural summit, if you guys saw the cultural summit, which is I have a hard time with the cultural summit online.
Online, I was right there with
It's
you.
not the same.
Yeah.
No, you don't feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the music doesn't translate. Wait, did you watch the cultural summit? No, yeah.
I do love that about Keller Williams, though. We're very
So-
family, very.
Take care of each other.
Yes, very oriented towards each other, and we make sure that everybody's okay. So if
That's
you
right.
guys ever know of anyone that's not okay in our market center, please let us know.
So to
We definitely look out for that.
Yeah.
that point, from a culture committee standpoint, I'll be honest, I give every time I get a commission check, and here's what, and it's not always a lot. If my commission check is whatever, $50, the $50 goes towards, or I do it to Central Cares, because that's our family.
Right.
For $25, whatever it is, but it adds up, you guys. We have depleted our Central Cares account for the Iversons. So now it's time to replenish that, because hopefully nothing happens to anybody else, but if we need it, we have it. There was a quote, and I forget who said it during Mega Camp. It was Wendy Capsule. She says, I have because I give, and I
Yes.
give because I have. It doesn't have to be a large amount. Any amount is just so graciously given because we can use it. So think about that next time you get a commission check.
Speaking of quotes, I want to read, I've got two different quotes and I want to get your reaction and just your interpretation of it. So the first quote, and it was Gary that said it, it says, change is inevitable, participation is optional. What does that mean to you?
I think it means that you can move forward with the change, or you can get stuck where you're at. So it's like move forward with the change.
Yeah.
Just move forward with the change. That's what I know when I do.
Jay?
I was gonna say, if you're not flexible, you break. So, our business is constantly changing. And that requires being flexible, whichever direction the wind is blowing you. And if you get a tree getting blown down, it's because it just didn't quite have enough give. So I think that's really important to know that you've got to be able to move and be malleable with the market.
And like our company pivoted,
Yeah.
family reunion online, Mega Camp online, classes online.
Millionaire
We're so
Monday
for-
on Zoom.
We're so fortunate that we learned to be flexible and that the company did too, because we still had family reunion, which was just amazing
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah. The second quote, I love this one because we're getting ready, just in case you guys don't know, we are going to be kind of giving the market center a little zhuzhing. I like that word, zhuzhing. So we're going to be replacing flooring and kind of getting rid of the pictures where Gary has brown hair, because obviously he doesn't have that anymore. And so we're giving a facelift to everything. And the quote was, luxury is no longer a price point. It's an experience.
I love that. I think that that's really important. I think that it's really important to take care of everybody as though they are the most important transaction that you possibly have.
Yes.
And I think that comes back to you too in the way of the world. So
Yeah.
it is a little self-serving to be awesome with them, but it's worth it.
But they get something good out of it.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. So what else does that mean? So luxury is no longer a price point, it's an experience. And so if you were to apply that, let's just say to like the market center, okay? For when your clients come in and you want them to have the experience of walking into the market center, what is a luxury experience to you as being part of our top 20% when you walk into this market center?
Or you just get greeted, you know, everybody's friendly and ask you how you're doing, you know, everybody smiles at you. And just makes you feel like you should be here and they're happy for you to be here.
I call it the Disneyland experience. You know, when you
There
get to
you go.
Disneyland, you smell the waffle cones, you hear the
Yeah.
music, and you're like happy, even if you're really pissed off when you're walking through the gate.
But I mean, additionally, if you shop luxury, you're typically served like champagne.
Oh, so you want champagne? Okay.
This doesn't know.
Oh, I see how it is. So Jake wants a bar at the front. That's what he's rooting for. Okay, got it.
I kind of,
Go ahead.
I'm kind of thinking it's above what you expect. It's going higher than their expectation. I had a closing at the Cowboy place on last week. It's amazing. I
Mhm.
mean, that building is first class. And I said, I want to have all my closings here because I want my clients to feel that, that what they did with that purchase that they made, no matter what the dollar amount is, that it's, you know.
It was an
It's
experience.
important. It's an experience. It's good.
And so now we have the opportunity to create an experience here. You know, it's stressful to go through a renovation, if you will, and we're going to have to go through the flooring being ripped up and everything. But we have a real opportunity to have a say in what happens here and what kind of decor, what experience your clients are gonna have walking through the door.
I was also going to say luxury is usually a personal experience. So again, if you think of like shopping luxury brands of any sort, it's something that's very personal. They focus on you. They tailor everything to you. So it's something it's a very personal experience.
Mhm.
So I think it's important that
And I think when we bring people here, clients, recruits, anybody with the smiles that they get and everybody is, you know, bringing them in, I think it's amazing. And yes, it'd be nice to be in a more luxurious office, but I think we have a great office just with the
It just
smiles and-
needs some zhuzhing.
Well, yeah.
It just needs
Zhuzhing.
zhuzhing.
You
a little
know,
less
Facelift.
when I have a client or anybody actually that has an appointment with me here, I always tell Deanza, I have, you know, Mr. Smith coming or me. So she's at 2:00. She's like, okay, great. My hopes is, and it, you know, she doesn't, but maybe to help her to understand, if you keep, let's say, just even a little schedule on your desk and say, okay, 2:00, Veronica, Mr. Smith. When they walk through the door and say, we're here to meet Veronica, oh, you must be Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yes.
You know, you get that at some
That's
really
the experience.
high-end hotels.
Yeah.
Like, oh, Miss Warwick, let me show you your room. Let me-
And have their picture, remember we used to. have their
Yeah,
picture on
the
screen.
welcome, the welcome of
But again,
whoever's coming
that's-
in.
I mean, that's small. Even,
But
you know,
that's
but
huge.
if they're coming to the door and saying, I'm here to see Veronica, and she looks, oh, 2:00, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Hi, you must be Mr. Smith. That, to me, is huge.
Yeah, no, I like that.
Yeah.
Now, you know, we're always looking for additional class ideas, you know, here because we can come up with ideas in leadership and we can say, oh, we think this is a great idea and it's not necessarily valuable for what you all are feeling, the pain points you're having. So was there a certain speaker or topic that you wish that you could have heard more from or about? I'll start with our panelists.
I would say the luxury.
Luxury.
Because he mentioned that they actually have their book on how to do luxury business out there that we could buy at the
Yes.
market center.
Mhm.
And just a pathway on.
So more luxury training.
Brady Sandall, is that who it is? that does the
Mhm.
training? He's in the Rainbow Network, so I may be able to pull a few strings.
Yeah.
Well, to get us, maybe get speak as like also like as an
That'd
intro
be
to the
great.
Who else would be interested in learning more about luxury? I hear, yeah, okay, good. Okay, looks like we've got some
Try to
topic of
reach
idea
out.
there.
That'd be great,
Yep.
thank you.
Any other topics that
Well, you know what, there was a really good, and I don't remember the name, where they bring an inspector when you're making an offer.
Yes.
When you're thinking about making an offer on a home,
And it wasn't
they
like,
bring,
it was like inspection light,
No,
basically.
Right,
yeah,
right,
it
but
wasn't
it
an
was-
inspection, yeah.
and he would give the buyer, the potential buyer, just about the house and stuff, so when you made an offer, you made a really valid or valuable offer. And it was really, I thought that was really interesting on how to win listings more, because you already know a little bit about the house, and you would do a quick inspection.
For
And,
buyers.
right, for buyers,
Um,
just to make offers.
And he was saying too, it was helping him be more competitive with his offers because he could shorten the option period or get rid of it or, waive inspection, because some states have like inspection
It
clauses.
was just different ways
so-
to win.
Yeah.
Offers, which I
Yeah,
thought was really.
When they went to view the home, the inspector met them at the home and just did a quick overview. It wasn't like a full-on inspection. And he does this so often, he has several inspectors underneath his network
Good
now,
brain.
that he pays them a minimal fee for coming out for an hour,
It's really cool.
Yeah, they did call it inspection light.
Right,
Yeah.
right, but I just thought that was-
Yeah, definitely. Any other ahas that you got, Adele?
I think that the overall ahas that I got from Megacamp are the same ones that you hear all the time, but you never really take the time to implement them. So for me, that would be the value proposition. A couple of the speakers mentioned and quoted Gary, because Gary said it so often, that you need to start with the end in mind. And it's something that, like I've heard it before, but I've never actually taken the time to write down what my actual value proposition is. And even now that I'm trying to sit down and write down my value proposition, I can't really do it. So
Yeah.
that's something that I'm gonna start concentrating on and seeing what we can start doing. I see you mentioned 1.5 million licensed agents out there. We have to do something to differentiate ourselves and to make sure that we
Yeah.
survive once this booming market slows down a little bit.
Yeah, and that's why I think that we've got a huge opportunity with these specific divisions. And I think that we need to not take that for granted. Because 700,000, in this area, we should all be going after that, right? And the same thing with commercial. You don't realize what a huge benefit it is to have the commercial team over here, and we need to make that commercial team even bigger, so you have even more resources for that. The land, you've got Clayton Acker, who specializes in land and who teaches the land forum every month. You got to really, these were the topics of MegaCamp. They were talking about luxury, commercial, land, sports and entertainment. We have all of the resources here. We're just probably not taking advantage of them or learning as much as we should about them, so that we can be that real estate professional out in the real world, talking about the luxury market. You should know where Keller Williams ranks in the luxury market. You should be used to looking through Command at all the luxury marketing pieces that are available, so that you can present that all in a very professional manner to your clients. Take it out to you guys. Any questions for any of our ALC regarding MegaCamp?
Or anything in general.
Anything in general? Yeah, Christine.
Lisa, can you share with us some of the educational opportunities through social equity?
Yes, and I was thinking about that when we were talking here, because one of the biggest ways to build your database is through diversity. If you feel like you have clients that are just in one category, you have to start expanding your knowledge of the other categories. And we have several classes that are coming up that we would like to start offering in the Market Center, to kind of give you the experience and know what you're saying in your marketing, to draw a larger database, a larger group of diversity. That's one thing. As I think that one thing that I can say is really successful about my database is that it's very, very diverse.
Yeah.
And when it stopped being diverse, I started taking a look at me and seeing where I need to educate myself.
Well, Lisa, share with them. Julia shared a lot. Julia Lachey, if you guys didn't realize, our own Julia Lachey was speaking at MegaCamp, and she shared a statistic that I was shocked. And how diverse. Share the number. No, you do it.
It was like 89 or 90% for the one of how diverse our future market is.
Yes, the future
And I
market.
didn't write down a market. I was just looking for it, looking for the statistic. But we do have a social equity workshop that we we will be having here. We will also want everyone to make sure that they see they get the color real estate class. And it's so funny because it really tells you about your biases and your unconscious biases and your conscious one. I mean, I had a recent experience even myself, you know, when you really kind of have to check yourself and say, why did I feel like that? And it really helps you work through that. And when you do that, you'll be amazed at the individuals that you draw. And it's real comfortable to work with people that are just like you, but it's just not successful.
Well, and it's
Not
not
long-term.
sustainable.
Not
Yeah.
long-term.
Yeah, it's definitely not sustainable because I think it was in less than 10 years, they're expecting that,
Percent.
yeah, the percentages to completely flop or just flip flop. And so if you missed Julia speaking, that's another one that I'm sure that we will be sure to re-air because she gave a lot of really good information.
And it's just not about race, it's also about age.
Yes,
Age, socioeconomics, everything.
absolutely.
So one of the classes I would like to see happen here, if we can get it on the books,
Are you looking at me? I don't think we did that.
is wealth building. So I made it
Mhm.
my goal for this next coming year, and I'm on a mission right now. So Wendy Papazon, I love her, so I follow her closely. And she talked about making wealth building a part of your mission.
Yeah.
You know, we have direct access as agents to go out there and start leaving that legacy. I mean, you know, it's one of our old laws, you know, is to leave a legacy. How do we do that? Well, we do that by starting to build wealth and be able to do that for, you know.
Actually, speaking of building wealth, Donna is going to be sharing we can share it with everyone, but Linda McKissick, that
Oh, yeah,
class,
and we've got to
it's a
get
free
that to
class.
everybody. It's a free class, and if we register for this class, whoever has the most people to register from a market center, they will directly do a class, an hour class, she and Prez.
Yeah,
And her
McKissick,
son.
yeah. Mhm.
They'll do a class. So what we'll do is, Becky, if we can get that out to everybody in the office,
Mhm.
it's gonna be great. It's about profit sharing, it's about growing your wealth and everything like that. And the more people that sign up, we would love to have a direct class.
Yeah, and Linda McKissick, her and her husband have to date made over $13 million in profit share.
I
So
think it's September 8th, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm almost positive that's today, but we'll get it out to you guys because guys, just listen to her for an hour.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
So you guys, in addition to profit share as building your wealth, how many of you would love to own an investment property
We're buying our first.
and have mailbox money? So my goal when I first became an agent was to buy one every 3 years. So we bought our first one within the first year I became an agent. Well, then my husband got deployed and, you know, life happened, so we didn't make that happen. So this year, coming 2024, we are planning now for next year to buy 2. So we're really making that part of our mission as family, because that's something that we didn't get to do for unforeseen reasons. But if you think, hey, what can I do to leave a legacy for my kids? Buying rental property is one of them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, now that you see, highest and best coming through for rental properties. So, yeah, Jake.
I just want to do my 2 last ahas. So how many of you have heard of the promise script? Anyone? Okay, so the promise script is during a transaction, you basically promise your client that you're going to do an exceptional 5-star job for them, and then you promise them basically that in doing so, you will expect to receive 2 things. 1 is a 5-star review, and 2 is also referrals. So the agent that was talking about the promise, said that he brings it up exactly 8 times per transaction. So that was mind blowing to me because I thought, I do a version of it when I have an initial consultation, and then I do it like right around closing time, buyer or seller. And it's like, oh gosh, I'm only doing it 25% of what this guy does, and he has a lot of success with it. So for me, I was like, okay, great. I need to be thinking about all the times during the transaction where I need to implement that. And then the other aha that I'm implementing is I provide checklists to both buyers and sellers that talk about the different steps of the process. And there was an agent that said, that's fantastic, but she does them in videos instead. So I thought, oh my gosh, how cool, everything needs to be on video instead anyways. So it's something that she sends an email or like a video to them that says, great, we just went under contract, here's the next 3 steps and here's what you can expect. And then once they get to the next stage, they get another email. And it sounded like hers were just kind of canned versions.
Yeah.
They weren't personalized, you know, it's like, so it's just, you record them once, but then you have them for all of your transactions.
Yeah,
And thought
I like that
that's a
too.
really good
Just
idea.
keeping your clients.
Yeah, because I have so many clients like, oh yeah, you know, I saw the checklist. I don't print anything out. Again, a lot of my clients are young, so like, you know, I send it in PDF version, but a video I think would be more beneficial for different stages.
That's really.
And if I'm not mistaken, because I wrote it down, it says, your brand is your promise.
Oh, yeah.
Right, yeah.
So remember
The
that.
promise script,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Any other ahas before we wrap today's panel up?
Just one more from me. I thought the Killer Offers Ready to Sell is a really good program. You know, you're talking about diverse clients, you know, aging baby boomer population. A lot of these people, I think they get intimidated with all these renovations that they need to do to sell their house. So this is going to be a great program, and I think we should all take advantage of it.
Yeah, educate yourself on all of the tools and resources that you have available to you. I always say, you know, for new agents coming in, it's like you're drinking through a fire hose with everything you're trying to, you know, take in. Well, you can be with Keller Williams probably for 5, 10, 13 years and still be learning of all the tools that you have access to, because they keep adding more things. Any
One thing I
other?
wanna
Yeah,
add,
yeah.
If we could do something on nonprofits,
uh-huh.
because, you know, Gary touches on that almost every year. Somehow get involved with and connecting a nonprofit to your business.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And two things, just two quotes. One said, wake up every day purpose driven and just get everything done by 12. I mean, they were saying,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh, I
make your
love the
day
person that was talking
be
about that.
Make an ordinary day be extraordinary.
Yeah.
Just by doing the extras and be in business for the long haul. And think about it, like always meet agents and just be in business for the long haul, do the right thing. Right.
Yeah.
Do you know who it was that said that? Get everything done myself.
I'll find out. 'Cause
Yeah,
A couple people said,
I-
because I wrote it, I'm telling you, I've got notes that are just, I'll find out.
And that's so true though, guys, because life happens after 12, like all the distractions happen after 12. And so if you don't, you know, if you get it done just early, and you know who's really good about that too is Clayton Acker. He talks a lot about that, how he gets all of his calls done by like 10 a.m. I think it's even before
We're
that.
not even allowed to text each other or talk to anybody on the team before 12.
Before 12, yeah. Oh, see, yeah, he's
Oh, that's
very,
awesome.
yeah.
So I don't know if you guys know, we had, so leadership has a huddle every morning at 8:27. And I come to those, and one of the huddles we talked about was habits.
Yeah.
Just recently, and behind Gary was a poster. And the poster said, decide your habits, decide your future, change your habits, change your future. And I was like, well, we just had this. I mean, it's so, to me, like a smack in the face. You've got to be, we said, you must be able to have short-term sacrifice to have a long-term success. And it's true, you have to be willing to put in the work.
Yep. No matter what. Yep. You gotta time block everything. Well, awesome, guys. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, good panel.
And we'll get a lot of these events that they were talking about, the different portions of Mega Camp that they really enjoyed, and we'll get them on the calendar and continue to stream because we have access to it for 60 days. Woo!
Good job, guys.
Aquí viviendo mi vida, ¿qué pasó? Puerto Vallarta, ¿no? Me lo pusiste en mi cabeza y ya no
Please go back to the house.